Please like and subscribe to the Couch and the Rube YouTube channel. Also download podcast episodes wherever you get your podcasts. For sponsorship opportunities, email Jason at couchandtherube.com.
What do you get when you cross a know-it-all newspaper columnist with an awkward, unsophisticated everyman?
Yeah. Well, I'm just not sure about that right now.
Welcome to Couch and the Rube.
Welcome to Couch and the Rube, our Wednesday show presented by our friends at Front 43 Neighborhood Pub and Cask & Company Kitchen and Bar. That's near the Lansing-East Lansing border on East Saginaw. Incredibly easy place to get to. Incredible menu. And great World Cup specials. Same as the MSU game day specials. So if you're looking to, park on a bar stool for 9 hours and watch soccer, or you're like Jason, you just want to do 2 hours and you may need some heavy liquor to get through it, they're there for you at Front 43 and Cask & Company. Two distinct vibes right next to each other, adjoining restaurants with one outstanding menu and beer selection. Go to caskandcompany.com. You can make a reservation for either Front 43 or Cask & Company. Or if you want to host a party or have a work lunch or anything, or a date, great place for all of that. Jason, how you doing, brother?
Why don't you write something? Huh? Why don't you write something? People are nuts. I'm not nuts. They're nuts.
Soccer is boring.
That's crazy.
Let's go green, go God.
I think I played them all. Hey, man, what's going on?
I'm all right. How you doing?
Good. You look like you have a soccer glow.
Do I?
New dad / soccer glow. I was really expecting you to come in looking like you were burnt crisp.
So
that would have been funnier.
I was the most popular guy in our section at the game at the Meadowlands yesterday.
Really?
At MetLife Field, because...
Did you bring weed?
I brought suntan lotion.
Oh.
And everybody... I brought this big, you can't take the kind that sprays, right? So it's like the lube sort of kind, right? And you know me and lube, we have a history. But anyway, people... It's a bright orange bottle, right? It's the sport kind, so people can see it from they see me layering up. And you get there, and there's very little... way to get away from it. Yeah, so a lot of people
selling that. Wait, so let me get this straight. You go to a World Cup event that's outdoors.
Yeah.
And you look outside and go, damn, it's sunny out.
Mm-hmm.
All right, honey, you ready to go to the game? Yeah, let's go. What are we forgetting?
Yeah.
Hopefully there's a big dummy-looking guy with a big bottle of it. How did you get that through security?
They didn't mind.
I guess it's not an airport.
Yeah,
it's not an airline. I keep thinking of an airline. I'm so dumb.
They don't let you take the spray stuff because they worry you'll spray it in somebody's eyes or be a terrorist or something with it. But
you could just throw a glob of it in their eyes.
Yeah, it's not that. No,
as you're gouging their eyes out.
MetLife Stadium is not a stadium that should exist. It is a massive place to bake in a parking lot, is what it is. Now, we had good seats, and we had near this club level area we could get into, and the game was amazing, and the people were a lot of fun, so it made it everything. The stadium itself is just kind of ass, but the game itself and the people being there, when you're there during the national anthem and they're just belting out the French national anthem, it's like straight out of Casablanca. It's amazing. I mean, it's the best. And so, I mean, and the same was with the first game we went to, Ecuador Ivory Coast, and that was in Philadelphia. That was, especially the number of Ecuador fans from Ecuador that were there, and that was a pretty emotional, cool deal. And we were going to root for Ivory Coast, by the way, because their fans have visa issues, and there aren't many fans here. Our country won't.
That's why you're going to root for them?
Well, we felt like they needed a boost. But the one Ivory Coast fan who was in our section,
lotion?
Well, actually there were two right behind us, were the most annoying people in the world.
Really?
So
you changed.
3 words the rest of this World Cup. Fuck Ivory Coast.
Wow.
Right? I'm done. This guy was the most
your visa.
Annoying fan ever. And he wasn't
Deport these two behind us.
He was not even from there. That's the worst part. We would have loved it. We would have loved the rest of the Ivory Coast fans. Were probably lovely people. This jackass was clearly an American. He was one of those guys who wanted you to know how smart he was. Like every conversation he had was so loud so the whole section could hear it when they're talking about just player he and his buddy were talking about players and different things. They're doing it to sound
worst.
smart. It's just.
I've been at Comerica with guys like that behind you. It's like, oh.
But it made me hate the Ivory Coast.
Okay, so they're not from the Ivory Coast. So
Right.
then why hate the Ivory Coast because of these two idiots? Like,
you got to police your own. These guys should have been thrown out. If you're an Ivory Coast fan, you got to be like, we want to be like.
Walk around and notice
Yeah.
shit fans.
Yeah, I don't know. It was awful.
So were you at a game yesterday?
Yeah.
Because I didn't know if we'd have a show today. I thought maybe you just quit. You're just like going to follow soccer from now on and quit following Michigan State after this.
I flew home last night, so
Okay.
we didn't get to go to the Brazil-Morocco game. Those prices never came down below like $1,600, and we had flight trouble getting there, so we weren't even getting there till earlier in the day, and it was like the two of us together dropping $3,200 total on the first game just felt like a lot.
I mean, the World Cup comes from the United States all the time, so you guys can do it next time.
Yeah, well, I don't think we'll do this again. We'll go to Premier League.
I mean, dude, it was like when the Lions were going to win their first home playoff game. I'm like, I don't know. 1,500 was insane for me, but I was going to do it and sit at the 50-yard line.
Well, it wasn't cheap. The tickets for the France-Senegal game were like $1,000 each. I mean, they weren't cheap, but they were good seats.
Right.
The problem with the Brazil-Morocco game is not only the price. That was just the get-in price. You're like the top level in a crappy stadium.
You might as well go to a bar.
Correct.
Get wrecked.
The other two games you could pay a lot, but you'd at least get good seats for it, and then make the experience better. And
so the bets hit. How's the soccer gambling?
Some of them did. Yeah. Well, the best thing is live betting when you're at the stadium because there's no delay. Right, the delay you get on the streaming, I don't get, so I can see something happening and you get it in quicker. If you
So, did you and Scott Powers embrace or shed any tears?
No, I mean, during the game,
Did you guys like look at each other like, dude, this is fucking amazing? Then maybe put your arm around each other.
Well, the first game,
yeah, man, like this is great. We've been playing. You guys had a joint bank account for over a year or something.
The first game, the guy from the Ivory Coast, at one point when Ivory Coast scored late. He was so obnoxious. He was swinging his arms. He hit Scott like twice accidentally. Didn't even apologize. I mean, this guy. He was real close to a throat punch if he wasn't so much larger and younger than me.
At any point, did you think about saying something?
Oh yeah.
Was anything said?
It was
guy behind.
It was really close. I mean, a lot of people in the area were just giving him looks.
But if he hits Scott Powers, dude, if he hits my boy, we're gonna look at him and go like, dude, what? Like, what's happening here?
I mean, the problem with these things. Everybody's paying enough. That there has to be like an annoying fan clause. You can't pay $1,000 for a ticket and then have an annoying fan in your section. That has to be understood. Like this, too much is invested in this. I thought about this the other day. We're at France-Senegal, and lots of fans, not just Americans who maybe don't understand the sport, are getting up and
of course
going. I mean, they're missing goals like Mbappe goals. Like you're paying enormous amounts for this. Why would you be getting up? You get a beer at halftime. You get beers before the game. Like, you don't get up. You don't miss the only thing you're there to see that you paid a giant amount of money for.
Unless you're going to pee or shit your pants,
yes.
You should not be getting up into that
100%.
effect.
And that's why they shouldn't have those hydration breaks everybody's complaining about, because Americans think they can make it to, like, I don't know, and then they come back in the middle of the game and they're in the way, and
Hydration breaks, they're making bank, so they're going to be there forever for future World Cups to come.
We will see.
Really? Okay.
We will see. I don't know that they're changing enough of the game. There've been, I don't know that'll.
So did you at least look at Scott on the way home when you guys were flying back? Like, dude, that was a great time. Like, it doesn't feel like I'm not getting the sense. Like,
longingly.
When I went to the memorial, like, I was like, man, this is almost like heaven. And it seems like you guys are just ho-humming. Shitty Ivory Coast fan behind you. Like, don't let that guy ruin you.
We had a great time. We had a great time. We had an unbelievable time. So it was awesome. We went down to Manhattan.
How bad was it getting to the stadium though in New Jersey?
They were really well organized. I was impressed. You had
it was just expensive.
A train ticket, everything. They were very organized and herding you from train to the bus to this to this to this. The way back, the thing that killed them was something happened on one of the train tracks, and that was going to really screw them. So we left and just grabbed an Uber. But
did you get any merch?
Bought something for Cora. That's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
You didn't get yourself a World Cup anything?
Nah.
What the?
I'm all right. I'm
Jesus.
46. I'm a grown man.
Really? You're above merch?
Yeah.
A World Cup that happens every 4 years. It hasn't been in the United States since '94. By the way, I love the people from other countries that are discovering how great the United States are. And then the people that we live here, we're like, yeah, see? It ain't so bad. Like, it's just kind of fun. It's like, oh, my God, I can come here and do this? Like, yeah, we should stop bitching I mean, what we think about America, I get who's running it or whatever, but it is great to be able to wake up and just kind of do whatever the fuck you want.
We went down to Midtown near the Garden for the
Midtown Brewing Company.
No, Midtown Manhattan.
Oh, I was about to say
to watch the Knicks win the championship, and then we were down there during all that craziness for a little while. We got out. Good time.
People viewing.
That was interesting. So that was fun. So yeah, we had a good time. Speaking of that, we'll have James Edwards on in a little bit. Who covers the Knicks for The Athletic and covered the Pistons, and we'll talk Knicks, what that experience was, and also the
and a Michigan State alum,
Pistons
so
future, and some Michigan State thoughts from him. Yeah. So, because by the way, did anything happen while I was away?
I was wondering if this constitutes an emergency podcast. Like, we talk, because you always bring up if Tom Izzo dies, which is the worst example ever.
Right.
But I'm saying if the president leaves and then the athletic director, like where are we, and the board of trustees is on fire, is that, I mean, technically you should have flew back 2 days ago and we should have been doing a pod. Like, I mean, for future reference, because I have a feeling with Michigan State and the way it's being run, it's going to happen again. So we should probably.
Not in June. And here's my thing. I mean, the Izzo dying thing, that would be one. But a year ago, I felt guilty because I was going to be on a trip to see a bunch of plays in Stratford, Ontario with my mom and sister while J Batt's intro press conference was happening. I was like, that sucks. Like there's a column to write. There's a bunch of stuff. I felt kind of guilty about it. Yeah. But, we had that trip planned 4 or 5 months in advance. It's something both my mom and sister look forward to. We look forward to it every year. And it was set up. So I went
J Batt is not going to ruin your vacation is what you're saying.
I'm saying.
Coming or going.
A year later, he's leaving. If you can't last more than a year, that just validates. I'm not screwing up the plans.
Talking about his kids are going to graduate from
beyond
high
that,
school. It's just so, I hate it.
I'm also on parental leave, so legally I don't think I can write a column if I want to right now. So
I'm sure you could get around it.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, it's just seeing J Batt. It was like Guskiewicz putting on the orange tie, and then all of a sudden J Batt is in Kentucky, and he's all proud, and he's like, I'm not going anywhere. It's like, really? We're supposed to take you seriously? You're not going to go anywhere? Unless there's a shit show. Do they have a shit show board of trustees in Kentucky? No, probably not. It's only Michigan State. That's the problem with all of these things. And it was great to see Izzo, and when he gets that fucking anger sway when he was talking to Solari, I just watched, he reminds me of like my grandpa when he get all pissed off at me back in the day, and he just was like grinding his teeth.
He didn't like.
But good for Tom to come out and start calling people out. Like, let's do this.
I wasn't.
What do we need? Tom, what do you need from me? You know what I mean? Like, I need Tom to tell me what he needs from me. I'm ready to do it. I'm not an alumnus, but I'm ready to support this shit. Right? I'm ready to support whatever. Do we need to like tweet out the thing where we sign the petition? Is that going to get things in motion here?
The petition thing's not going to work, by the way.
So don't waste my time?
Well, I'm not saying don't waste your time. I'm just saying the idea of...
Can we get Big Gretch on the horn?
To recall through, with the petition, to recall, it would take, the trustees, it would take, I think, in this case, 1.1 million signatures in 180 days.
Oh, okay.
That's a lot.
I mean, I guess we got to start going then. We got to start getting signatures. So is there that many? I mean,
there aren't even that many alums.
Well, who came up with that number? Rima Vassar?
It's because
1.1 million.
It's because 4.4 million people voted in the election, and you have to get 25% of the voting electorate. This is the problem. I mean, again, like 2.4 million people vote for her. None of them know who she is.
No.
I mean, so my J Batt exits, right? And that, to me, wasn't a surprise overall, but it was a surprise that happened now. I thought he would stick around for a little bit. I thought he would see the beginning of Spartan Ventures, which is his baby. He's going to something that's already been started. He's going to try to make – now, at Kentucky, if you make basketball and football together, successful entities, and basketball has been struggling, and they have a similar type of deal there already in place. But it's not his baby. It's not something he's creating. It's not a legacy-type deal that it was at Michigan State where you had an opportunity to do something really interesting that way. This was just starting July 1st. I thought you'd wait to see who the president was. I thought he would do at least a year. And so I was a little surprised.
After you saw what they did to your boy, Gussie, he turns down $1 million rate. Like, why would J Batt? I don't blame J Batt for wanting to get out of there.
J Batt deserves some blame, and so does Guskiewicz. Sure. Almost everybody deserves blame. The only people who don't really deserve any blame in this situation are Tom Izzo, Pat Fitzgerald, Adam Nightingale,
intern Nolan.
Who's here today.
We'll blame him later.
Yeah. But I'll tell you why everybody shares some blame. If you're Kevin Guskiewicz, you might have had some people who were rebel rousers on the board who were a pain in the ass to deal with.
Rabble rousers.
But even in the worst case scenario, you had a 5-3 majority that were pretty much rubber stamping what you wanted to do. This was not going to prevent you from doing what you wanted to do. You had some people who were a pain in the butt, and they were being public about it, and so that wasn't always easy. But the public sentiment was on Kevin Guskiewicz's side largely, and where it wasn't, there were some legitimate questions about the ability to have certain levels of transparency in certain projects that were happening. Those are if you're going to change the way the campus looks or the way it operates, you're going to have some blowback. That you have to have thick enough skin to deal with that, right? So he deserves a little criticism because he could have stuck it out, and he signed up for this. And I know when he signed up, the idea was he was basically said, he didn't want shit from the board. But this is a major job. You have put a lot of things in motion, and you're pulling out. He deserves some blame. J Batt also. Look, you started something major. Lots of people at Michigan State no longer work for the university. They work for Spartan Ventures. They sent, they've changed their employment. Now, a lot of it's going to work in the same world, but they've changed. This is a major change to how Michigan State athletics operates over there. Huge thing. All done by you, started by you. And they've left some good people there, and they've left some, the CEO of Spartan Ventures is good. The provost, I think, a lot of at Michigan State. They're good people, and they probably need to look at those folks even in expanded roles now. But so there are good people behind, and there are lots of good people underneath who've been there for a while. But this was your baby, and you didn't even. I mean, if you think well enough of your abilities and all that stuff, the idea that you were trying to get out this quickly, you deserve some blame too.
Sure.
Obviously, the Board of Trustees, Rima Vassar especially, deserve blame because their inability to govern and facilitate things and just do things operationally that move the university forward. It doesn't seem like the goals are all what they should be. Like the goal should be to advance the university, to protect the university, and to help the people that you've hired, with their initiatives. And, as long as those things aren't way out of bounds. But I understand there were some legitimate concerns, and those concerns should be voiced behind closed doors, and maybe they leak a tiny bit, but it went too far. And there's the other person who deserves a lot of blame here is Governor Gretchen Whitmer, because she had an opportunity to remove a couple of these trustees a couple years ago, including Reba Vassar, who she's the one she certainly had grounds to do for sure, and chose not to. And I understand the idea that governors don't want to set this precedent, right?
Is she friends with Rima Vassar?
I don't know.
No?
But
can we speculate?
They don't want to set this precedent of every time there's somebody who people don't like, a governor comes in and removes them. I understand it's a dangerous precedent, right? You don't want to do that.
But when your university's burning, you have to make some sort of move. I understand. I agree with that. You don't want to sit there and just have a knee-jerk reaction when something doesn't go your way. But it seems for a consistent amount of time, the Board of Trustees has been a detriment to the university than they have been. Largely. And there have been a lot of good people there too, but overall, largely. Right.
And then you also have, whoever came up with a system of 8-year terms.
Ugh,
the hell is that?
Get it out.
The hell is that? A lot of the issues we have in this state are based on terms. In the state legislature, term limits are too short, and because that's why you don't have people who know what the f they're doing, and have built careers there. And I understand that people worry about career politicians years ago in the late '90s when we got to get rid of the dead weight. Well, you know what? Now you just got constant dead weight, new dead weight. It's all dead weight pretty much, and that's not fair because there are a lot of good people in the state legislature, but nobody knows what the hell they're doing. You get all sorts of, you shouldn't be the Speaker of the House 4 years in, ever, right? But you have to be because you're term limited after 6. That stuff is, nobody knows how to get anything done because of term limits. And that was on us voting for that because we don't want dead weight and we don't want career politicians. All that bullshit that we buy into, when we see a commercial on TV. That's on us. The other thing that's on us is that we don't actually pay attention to who we're voting for. I don't know. I don't pay attention often with the Board of Trustees. Frankly, a lot of people aren't that big of stakeholders, but they still vote. We don't know,
It's like people that go to a World Cup game without suntan lotion there. It's like, duh, you got to read about these people. Check the weather report.
Who is Rima Vassar?
Right.
And
I like her name. Vote.
Boom. There you go. Pat O'Keefe. Wait, is he the Grand Ledge baseball coach? Oh, wait, no, he's not. Oh, well, too late.
I went to school with an O'Keefe.
Already voted. Yeah, right. These people aren't getting 2.4 million votes. I mean, they are, but they're getting random votes. The system is screwed up. It shouldn't be. I mean, to some degree, we're all stakeholders at Michigan State University, but if you're not an alum, a faculty member, a student, to some degree, you shouldn't have the same say in the board, right? But beyond that, it's also on the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. Both these, at their state convention, nominate who they're going to put on the ballot, and Reba Vassar gets through. I know people for sure who wanted to be trustees, who would have been fantastic, who didn't even get the opportunity because they didn't get nominated at the Democratic convention. There's all sort of political bullshit there. They deserve a ton of blame for who gets on the ballot. That is where the vetting really ought to happen, at that level, because you know your constituency, you know your voting public. We're a bunch of lazy effing morons when it comes to the Board of Trustees. We don't know who these people are. They're on the ballot. They're at the end of a lot of other things that seem more important, or at least we're more engaged with, and we check a box. And some people do know, and some people may, if you're not a fan of Michigan or Michigan State, you may be. If you're a fan of the other, you may be voting to hurt the other school. There's all that sort of stuff too. But I don't think that is really how these people get on there. Most of them get on there by chance, by complete effing chance. So it's up to, as long as this process exists, the state convention, there has to be a lot better vetting than this. You shouldn't have troublemakers. And I don't mean troublemakers by people who raise good questions, but people who are just in it for the wrong reasons and a pain in the ass to deal with and about themselves. That shit shouldn't happen. Those people shouldn't be on the ballot. You should be able to prevent that at an earlier level.
And giving the middle finger on Zoom calls,
There's a lot, yeah.
I mean,
look,
how old are we here?
yeah.
It's a damn shame.
It's too bad.
That's what it is.
I don't think.
So what do we need to do? Do we need to get Izzo and Big Gretch together to figure this thing out here? Do we need to hear from Whitmer? Should Whitmer talk, speak, do something, right?
It's a good question, because obviously you're going to have this board is going to play a large role in selecting the president and the next AD, or the next AD will be selected probably by the next president or an interim president. And now you're going to have an AD who's chosen. The problem you have now is the time frame. Most ADs want to be selected by the president they're going to be working for. So if it's going to take you 9 months to a year to get a president in place,
oh my God,
are you going to wait till after that to have a full-time AD, a non-interim AD? So maybe you have to go interim AD for a while. It's a tough situation. The one thing you have going is you have Izzo. And as long as you have Izzo, you're going to have Greg Williams. And you have Nightingale going. You have a new football coach who brings good energy, who's been through, a lot of the Big Ten, been through administrations, been through a lot of stuff, right? And so you have a veteran there who doesn't have – it's not like Pat Fitzgerald's going to leave. I think he's a decent hire, but he's not like he has a ton of leverage to go, screw it, I'm going to go take the
Grand Valley
job tomorrow.
The Grand Valley job? I mean, I don't know.
I think there are some good people like, I think there are really good people like John Palumbo who's the CEO of Spartan Ventures, who can shepherd this thing. Now, whether he's, the permanent AD or the interim AD, I don't know. But, there are lots of it throws a lot into flux. And what it does more than anything is it really hampers the revenue-driving fundraising that they were doing. Because I know already of...
And it hampers the hiring a president, though, right?
Well, everything gets more difficult because of this reputation. But the momentum you had, this $4 billion campaign on campus, the $1 billion for athletics, all the stuff you were doing, when there's... People don't want to give when it's a rudderless ship, when they don't know who's in charge, when they don't know who's going to be deciding, when they don't trust where their money is going and who's going to make decisions, it gets more difficult. And so a lot of things... in a time and place where you're not getting as much help from the state, when in athletics, money really matters, not having stability and not having creative people ready to go in full-time positions at the top, that's not good. It's not good. It doesn't mean you can't overcome it, because what you do have, you're not having to hire a coach. Like the coaching jobs that people care most about, right? Men's basketball, football, hockey, those guys are all in place, and two of them have great success going on. That you don't really have to worry about. Those things will run themselves, I think, well enough. Football is the question. And that's going to be up to them to get it rolling enough that they're able to finance it the way they need to, and that Pat Fitzgerald has the resources and his staff have to do good things. And if they get winning there, people will start to feel good and they'll be okay. You know, an AD can be overrated. But when an AD changes the whole structure of everything you're doing and their initiatives are so different from one AD to the next, this is definitely not ideal.
We're dropping MFers now?
We will we'll talk some more MSU athletics a little later. But
we have to?
Well, I think intern Nolan we're going to get back into it with him as well. We'll also do some golf bets a little with the U.S. Open this week.
But I bet every golfer, I think.
We're going to take a quick break. We come back. The great James Edwards from The Athletic. Couch in the Rube, our Wednesday show presented by our friends at Front 43 Neighborhood Pub and Cask & Company Kitchen and Bar.
Where else can you cheer on your team? Enjoy a mouth-watering burger or savory sushi. Sip on handcrafted cocktails or one of 46 beers on tap. Take your game day or date night to Cask & Company Kitchen Bar or Front 43 Neighborhood Pub near Frandor. 2 amazing places with 1 awesome blended modern American Asian menu. Catch the game on one of 30 60-inch TVs or stop in for the all-you-can-eat lunch buffet. Enjoy happy hour or elevate your night out at Cask & Company or Front 43 on East Saginaw in Lansing. Come enjoy irresistible, award-winning, handcrafted donuts and locally roasted coffee at Groovy Donuts. Surprise your family or coworkers with special holiday designs and flavors, or put the perfect finishing touch on an event with a custom order. Birthdays, weddings, gender reveals, our friends at Groovy Donuts are your answer. Experience the Groovy Donuts difference for yourself on Lake Lansing Road in East Lansing or in Williamston. Get more information or place an order at groovydonuts.com. Firekeeper's online casino and sportsbook is the site to play. From your phone, tablet, or laptop. Get in on all the football action with pre- and in-game wagering. There's showdowns every week in football that you can't miss. Plus, the college and pro hoops are red hot, and the pucks are cool. Get your first casino deposit and sports wager matched up to $500 each. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 21 or older and located in Michigan. Gambling problem? Call the Michigan Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-270-7117.
Please like and subscribe to the Couch in the Rube YouTube channel. Also download podcast episodes wherever you get your podcasts. For sponsorship opportunities, email Jason at couchandtherube.com.
Couch in the Rube, our Wednesday show presented by our friends at Front 43 Neighborhood Pub and Cask & Company Kitchen and Bar, the original Couch in the Rube sponsor. An unbelievable place to watch World Cup games. They've got World Cup specials going on during every game throughout the tournament, whether you're catching England, Croatia, USA, Australia, whether you're against Ivory Coast because of one obscene fan, whoever it may be you're rooting for or against, you can do so at Front 43 and Cask & Company. Make a reservation at caskandcompany.com. Very pleased now to be joined by my friend, former colleague, and a writer who has just covered one of the great stories in the NBA in a long while for The Athletic, James Edwards, who covers the Knicks. James, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I've got to hear your voice twice this week. It's been awesome.
I spent some time at an Irish pub with James, a Liverpool bar, on Monday or whatever day that was. I think Monday. So that was awesome, man. To see you in person was great. You two are going to the World Cup as well, right? Haiti, Brazil this Friday?
Yes, in Philadelphia. I'm very, very excited. I got a buddy flying in from Michigan. Him and his sister won the regular raffle, which none of us could win, or at least I couldn't win, and he called me up, so I'm excited. Nice.
So is he not taking his sister and taking you instead?
No, his sister and her husband are going.
Oh, okay.
As well.
Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah. He's not that terrible of a person.
Well, there's a lot I want to talk to you about. Starting out first, the experience. You were reluctant to go to New York, right? You're a Michigander. You're somebody who I think at some point in your life may wind up back in Michigan. You loved covering the Pistons. You're a Michigan State grad. And yet this journey that you've covered, I mean, there are moments as a writer where you cover something that's a great story, a great team, and in a place that's that important to community, and it's just it hits a little different. What has this year been like for you? More specifically, this playoff run.
Yeah, no, it's been wild. I think it's just to simplify things. This is a group that, I mean, they made the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 25 years last year. Fired their coach, and then basically by doing that, told the whole world that they have championship expectations. And honestly, it wasn't until the playoffs, honestly, it wasn't until the second round that I thought that was possible. This group had highs and lows all year. This group was at times disconnected. Great individual talent, and they had a good record, right? But if you watch them every day, they left a lot to be desired. And then they start the first round of the playoffs down 2-1 to an Atlanta Hawk team that shouldn't even have really been there. Then after that, they kind of just rattled off one of the greatest, most dominant playoff runs of all time. So for me, it was really cool to see. Obviously, it's very clear how much the Knicks mean to New York. It's the one team that everybody in the city shares. People are either Giants or Jets fans, Mets or Yankees fans. No disrespect if you're a Brooklyn Nets fan listening to this, but you know the truth. And it is it's been cool to also just be part of Jalen Brunson's story and his journey, and watching him go from second-round pick, who was a little bit undervalued because of what he did in college, to, I mean, you can make the case. Is he the best American player in the NBA right now? It's a conversation to have. So being part of his story has been also really cool.
So who would be in that conversation with him, the best American players in the NBA right now? Who do you think it is?
Yeah, I think it's Jalen, Cade, and Anthony Edwards. I think those would be my three.
Yeah. And I think when you win a championship, it puts you in and you do what he did, 45 in a decisive game. I mean, it's just, and 45 in a game that, your team only scored 94. I mean, it elevates him in a way that I never thought he could be elevated. I remember watching him back at like a team camp at Michigan State way back in like 2013, 14, whatever it was, when he was in high school, and I just didn't see it. I've never seen it with him, and now I feel like a little bit of a fool. When did you how quickly did you believe that he was somebody who could elevate a team to this level?
I was skeptical when he went to New York. I thought it was kind of funny that they were putting on this whole dog and pony show for a guy who had some good performances in the playoffs, was obviously an NBA starter player, but I didn't think this. But by the time I got to New York, you already knew what he could be. The Knicks had put together some good postseason runs. He was tremendous in the playoffs. So seeing it up close and personal, you have a different appreciation for it. One of my favorite running jokes with Jalen, and it really pains me. I don't think I've told you this. I don't think I said this on the radio, but he wanted to go to Michigan State. And he loved Coach Izzo. And he didn't even go on his visit because he was so afraid that he would like it too much, and he just wanted to stay with Villanova. And when I learned that 2 years ago, that pained me. Every time I wear Michigan State stuff, he points at me and laughs. But yeah, think of Jalen Brunson and Tom Izzo together. That would have been fun.
Well, and that would have been what class was he? 2014 freshman. He would have been with those. He would have been on those great, Denzel Valentine, team in 2016 that didn't get it done, and the Miles Bridges after. Yeah, that would have worked. It would have worked.
It would have been great. Yeah, and Isaiah Stewart's another one, if people don't know, who almost went to Michigan State. That was his. They just all tease me about it. It pains me. It truly pains me.
Well, and they were closer on it. That, I remember his recruitment with MSU. That thing was.
Yeah, he was their second school. I think. I think Washington had a Brinks truck that could make it all the way to Rochester.
Is there anything covering the finals? I often say some of the bigger events are more pain in the ass to cover than not as fun as you think. And I'm somebody who loved covering mid-major basketball. I love covering the regular season game. I love the access. I love the day-to-day. Do you enjoy, as the world descends on New York, as it becomes a bigger and bigger thing, do you enjoy covering it the way you do day-to-day?
To be honest, no. And there's a couple of reasons why, and it's stuff that people won't care about. But just to kind of take everybody behind the curtain. When you have the finals, there's media availability every single day that there's not games. So you're basically going to the Garden or San Antonio's arena, Frostbank, on off days, and all these guys are talking at the podium, and it's just like, that's not really like how I like to operate. I'd rather use my relationships with the players and get like interesting stuff that nobody else gets. So like that stuff feels very mundane and kind of useless in a way. I enjoyed covering it more in San Antonio, and that's primarily because there was less media, and their arena is just more conducive to more media. Even though there was less media than there was in New York, it's still conducive to more media, just the way the arena's set up. And listen, the Garden is one of one. The lore of the Garden, watching a game there, there's very few arenas like it. But with that said, it is not really conducive to a big event. The hallways aren't the biggest. They had to make like a real makeshift media room because the original one's just like very small. Obviously, there's a lot of people. It's crowded. So it's not like, it's cool to cover the finals. It's cool to be able to tell awesome stories. And I think for me, where a lot of the benefit is, all these new reporters are coming in, or people who are national, and they don't have like built-in relationships with the players. So I can use my knowledge of these guys and also just my relationships with these guys to get unique stuff. And in the midst of chaos, be able to get a guy one-on-one, get Jalen one-on-one, and have conversations with them. So from that standpoint, like, there are some muscles you get to use and flex a little bit, but overall it's a spectacle more than an event. Like, I would like to talk to some of the players about if they expected it being like this. Because I covered the NBA Cup this year too, and it was just all media. There's there's social media influencers. There's all this stuff, and it's just like a spectacle kind of highlighting the game. And the finals is almost kind of like that too. There's just so much stuff going on that's not the game. It's just a different experience.
Your former podcast mate, Vinny Goodwill, somebody that I know pretty well too from both his days in Detroit and Chicago, super guy. Made some news today. I think it was today, or maybe it was yesterday. He called the Larry O'Brien Trophy a participation trophy just because it was becoming something that 8 different champions in 8 years. And look, if you're one of the teams, you're like the Pistons who are dying to get one. If you're any of these teams who got one, I don't think it feels like that because it's hard to get. And I don't think any of these feel that way. But I understand what he's saying. Like, the dynasty thing just isn't happening. Is it? I don't know. Is it a less than thing? Like, is there something that the trophy is dinged if you're not having these runs of 3 and 4 years or 2 and 3 years and these sort of stretches of dynasties or whatever they might be? I don't think it is that. I think it's really hard to do it. I think the rules in place make it difficult to have longer windows, and there's just a lot of really good teams, and there is parity, which he doesn't think is good. What is your kind of opinion on, the Knicks win one, but this may be it for the Knicks. Who knows? Obviously the Bucks won one with Giannis. That's it for the Bucks, and years later they're shopping him. Denver may have had its moment, and that's it. Like, what is your sense of where the NBA is in the way the titles are going to a number of teams?
Yeah, no, Vinny's point, and that's a point he's been making for a long time. It's just that because he's in New York and New York just won, and New Yorkers haven't been the most fond of me and him as Michiganders. They really took it and ran with it. But Vinny's been saying that for a long time, prior to the Knicks winning the title. I don't agree with it. I think that parity is good. I think that diverse talent is good. I think having more teams and more fan bases able to believe is good, right? Like, I think that's what makes the NFL, that's what makes that draw so appealing, is like any given year you can go from 0-16 to 14-4 or whatever, how many games there are now.
36,
personally like, 36 games. I personally like that. I also think that if we do see a repeat champion, that just goes to show you how special that team is, right? Like, it shouldn't, like, yes, we love history and we love like dynasties because it shows something we can pinpoint as like a historic moment in the sport we love. But with that said, like, it's not easy to win 3 in a row. Like, not everybody should be winning 3 in a row. That's not like a normal thing. It took the greatest dynasty we know about is had the greatest player involved. You go back to like the Boston and Lakers, again, two teams with like top 10 players of all time. You look at the Warriors, again, another team with top 10 player of all time. Like, it's not supposed to be easy. And I like that any team can win on any given year. I think it's going to improve team building. I think maybe down the line, if this continues, you'll see like less teams tanking because anything can happen. Yeah, I like that. I love when every fan base, for the most part, has hope. I think that's good for the league. Everybody's engaged.
Speaking of team building, the Knicks have been a little bit open that, you know, they built this in some ways after like the 04 Pistons. That was a blueprint at one point. It was like you can do it without needing the bona fide top 3 guy, right, or whatever in the sport. And I sort of putting that in reverse now for the Pistons, who haven't had lottery luck outside of Cade, who are going to have to, and Cade is a top 10 guy, but otherwise very difficult to have one as they try and build it. Do you think teams like this that take down a team that looks like it's arrived or is up and coming or has better pieces like San Antonio, do you think what the Knicks did this year should be something that gives the Pistons hope? And along with that, what moves do you think the Pistons should try to make this offseason?
Honestly, I don't know if it should give the Pistons hope per se, but I think that what San Antonio went through isn't normal. Like, the Spurs were ahead of schedule, just like the Pistons were ahead of schedule. It's great that they were ready to step up in that moment in the playoffs and find themselves in the finals, no question, but they ran into a team full of veterans in their prime who have now played together for 2 years, have been in super clutch moments and very intense moments throughout the last 2 seasons. Like, the Knicks were supposed to win. Like, everything we know about sports, the Knicks were supposed to win. And I think that, like, people got excited about Detroit, as they should have, but jumping to 60 wins after the jump to 46 the year before, like, that's not normal. That's not how it's supposed to go. And I think that, I know people aren't going to hear this, but if the Pistons don't win a title in the next 2 years, I don't think that's a bad thing. Cade is 24 years old. He'll be 26. Most guys don't get titles till they're 27, 28, 29. It's all about being in the conversation and giving yourself a chance every year. I think Detroit will do that. For me, I think they just need to continue to add shooting. I think we all saw as soon as they added spacing around Cade how it went from a crap show of a situation to a playoff team just like that. And we're not even talking about like elite players they added. They added Malik Beasley and Tim Hardaway and then Duncan Robinson, and that was enough. And obviously like Asar growing and Jalen Duren growing and Isaiah Stewart and stuff like that, so that helps. But I think Detroit just needs to continue to add shooting. I think they need another secondary ball handler, someone to take the pressure off Cade, someone so he doesn't have so much responsibilities trying to create offense for the team. They could really use another kind of 2A, 1B type guy. I don't think they need to go all in right now. And like, do they need to go try to get a top 10 player? I mean, if that guy's there, like, sure, whatever. But like, I even think like somebody like Kyrie would help. I even think somebody like, if he were healthy, like I even think like Zach LaVine would help. They just need somebody like that who could just put the ball on the floor and put some pressure on the defense and allow Cade not to have so much responsibility.
You were an early skeptic of Jalen Duren, not so much in his ability, but in the type of player he is and whether he's worth paying big money. And we see what happens to him in the playoffs. What would you do with Jalen Duren if you were the Pistons? And does signing him for big money limit who they can become?
It's tough because at the end of the day, he was an all-star this year, all-NBA, and he's still only, 22, 21? So you hope that this experience helps mold him into something more. With that said, I just really struggle to pay big men who can't space the floor and aren't elite rim protectors. Duren has improved a lot as a defender, but he's still not an elite rim protector, in my opinion. But he's awesome as a lob threat for Cade. He can do some stuff with the ball in his hands off the dribble. I think he's an underrated passer, even though he maybe tries to force some too much. But I think Duren has really grown, and I wouldn't give him the max. I wouldn't give him really anything super close to the max. But like, I think for the right price, he's worth keeping around simply off his age and simply off the progress he's shown each and every year. And him and Cade seem to get along. So I think that's important, too, to factor in.
Last thing, you're an MSU grad. I know you've had other things to deal with, the school burning down. Any thoughts on what's going on there? Like, what's your level of, like, frustration, hope, concern, or is it something that, you just, as long as basketball's going well, you hope football is you're able to, like, how much do you pay attention as an alum to the stuff that's happening with the president and board of trustees and whatnot?
So I found out when I saw you, I had just found out like a couple hours later, like way after the news came out. So I was a little shocked. Stuff like that, like I usually see a little late. But like I'm pretty invested. Like I'm kind of excited about Pat Fitzgerald. I'm not gonna lie. I liked him at Northwestern. I think he's a Michigan State guy in terms of just like his temperament. If I had to see Jonathan Smith just sit there with no expression one more time, I was going to lose my mind. I like Pat Fitzgerald. I think he's just going to bring the type of energy that this program really needs. I think we have some pieces. I wish Nick Marsh would have stayed, but obviously so does everybody. I'm not alone in saying that. But I think we have some decent pieces. And again, I think the culture is going to get a nice reset here with Pat Fitzgerald. I never worry about the basketball team. I actually am very excited for this season. I think they really have a chance to win it all this year, assuming health is in their favor. Bringing back as many people as they brought back, plus that top recruiting class, it feels like it could be a big season for basketball. But I pay attention. I always read you. I always read Chris. I'm still very much locked in. I enjoy a good Michigan State football fall. Like it's fun. And all my friends all went to Michigan. So this last 2 years have really hurt me with the football team winning and the basketball team winning. I can't really talk crap. So I want to talk crap again when it comes to football.
James, you're a beautiful man. I hope you're living back in Michigan sooner rather than later. It was awesome to see you. Enjoy the World Cup, man. We'll talk soon.
Thank you, brother. Good talking to you.
That's the great James Edwards from The Athletic. Jason, your thoughts?
You know what annoys me is former players saying that they were going to go to some place, especially the school you're rooting for. Yeah. Or like when I saw the Wayne Gretzky video of like, oh, I was almost a Red Wing. It's like, I don't want to hear that. It's worse hearing it after the fact. It's like, oh, I was really close. Jalen Brunson was really close to going to Michigan State. Like, was he? I don't know.
I think
it was between Illinois and Villanova back then, but I don't.
And one of the ones that I always, I
hate those.
It's like when Jaren Jackson Jr. talks about, you wanted to stay. It's like, well, then stay.
Well, he did. But it would have been insane. There's no way Izzo is going to let a top 5 guy
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I think he really did. Like, no one believed Miles Bridges back in the day either.
Right.
It's like, yeah, right. He's not coming back.
Well, and some of that was helped by
pre-NIL and shit.
Gary Harris was a good sounding board for those guys. Gary Harris was miserable as a rookie. And he could have left even earlier than he did. He wishes he had stayed for his junior year because he was like, you're like a 20-year-old kid out in the road in the NBA, and you're
carrying the guy's bags.
Yeah, your buddies are all still in school. You're like, what am I doing? This is awful. And if you don't come from a place where you desperately need the money in today's world, I mean, if you go back and do and this would be different in a lot of schools if NIL had existed because a lot of different guys would have stayed. But like Gary Harris, no way in heck he leaves. Like that guy was making huge amounts of money. He played at Michigan State. Jaren Jackson Jr. probably would have stayed. Lots of guys would have had different careers and not felt the need to leave. Deontay Davis certainly would have stayed, right? He would have stayed multiple years, and that's all he needed was the money.
And the Jalen Duren thing, like I get what he's saying, and I don't know if I necessarily want to pay him $40 million a year, right? I'm willing to let him go. Meaning, if some other team wants to pay him a certain amount of money that we don't want to pay, I feel like, all right, Jalen, it's been real. I can't get that playoff run out of my mind.
What you can't do with Jalen Duren is you cannot allow any contract you sign with him to limit your flexibility going forward.
Right.
Like you're going to be able to move him and sign guys and draft him whatever and build your roster as you need, and he could still wind up being an incredibly valuable piece because he was for a lot of the year. Then that's great. But you can't trust that he's going to be good enough. He certainly in this day and age can't be anywhere near a max contract because you get two of those guys. And I don't know if you get a third.
But
guy
I was
at $40
down
million
during the regular season. I had no issue giving Jalen Duren the max. It's just, and then he turned into someone else during the playoff run, and I just can't get. If I have to make a decision, I'm sorry. I'm just taking what I saw, And it wasn't like, what glimpses did he show where he was that elite guy again? He had decent games of 12 and 9 rebounds or something like that. But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
Boy, James was in a noisy place, man.
Yeah.
Said, could you hear me? I'm like, yeah, you sound good. I'm like, holy hell, I didn't know he was there.
Yeah, no, probably. But it's today the Knicks parade. That's tomorrow. I think he got out of that. I don't think he's covering the Knicks parade. I think he told me he got out of that.
How did he get out of that? By the way, what do you need to cover?
That's it. Exactly it.
Right?
It's a video thing. There's another. They have a second writer there who's going to do some stuff apparently. But yeah, I think James got out of it. Which is, if you can get out of covering the parade, well done.
I mean, I definitely would want to see it because it's going to be insane.
So we were down in Manhattan right after they win. Right, we get down there.
Did you hug James?
No, I didn't see James that day because he was covering the game in San Antonio.
Did you guys hug?
I did hug James.
Okay.
Yeah. I also saw Madeline Kenny, who used to work for the Detroit News.
That's his girlfriend.
Yeah, they're both there. So she works for the New York Post.
You guys did a group hug.
It was a huge group hug. It was amazing. But the night of that they won, Scott and I stupidly thought we'll just go to a bar and watch it. Like the bars had lines that were like 6 miles long.
Where are you guys from?
Lansing,
you thought
Michigan.
you would just get into a bar, Game 5 in Manhattan?
Scott is a guy, and in Scott's defense, Scott lives his world through connections, through like Irish pubs and the Irish Mafia underground and soccer clubs and stuff. So everywhere I've ever been with Scott, he knows a guy. And we always get in that way. He's always that sort of thing.
Speakeasy.
He knows the owner. He knows the bartender. He knows there's always a place. That
that's
sort of
sick.
thing.
It's good to have those guys. Yeah.
And so in New York, we didn't really have that. So we, it was.
So what? He thought he was just going to invent a guy?
No, I think we just underestimated what downtown
that is a
New
big
York
underestimation there. If you're just all of a sudden strolling through like there's going to be a fucking Applebee's you could sneak in.
No, we found a great hotel bar that was right down in Midtown. It was good. But then we went out in the streets afterward, and we were out in the streets for maybe 5 minutes before we realized we need to get the hell out of here.
Oh, God.
It got to be crushing.
Someone slap a Spurs jersey on couch. Did you see those guys getting pummeled by Knicks fans?
What are you doing? Anyway, it was a good time. It was a really good time. All right, we are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we will intern Nolan will have his thoughts on everything he's heard and what's going on at MSU and all that good stuff. And then we also will have our U.S. Open bets after that. Couch in the Rube, our Wednesday show, presented by our friends at Front 43 Neighborhood Pub and Cask & Company Kitchen and Bar.
Where else can you cheer on your team, enjoy a mouth-watering burger or savory sushi, sip on handcrafted cocktails, or one of 46 beers on tap? Take your game day or date night to Cask & Company Kitchen and Bar or Front 43 Neighborhood Pub near Frandor. 2 amazing places with 1 awesome blended modern American-Asian menu. Catch the game on one of 30 60-inch TVs or stop in for the all-you-can-eat lunch buffet. Enjoy happy hour or elevate your night out at Cask & Company or Front 43 on East Saginaw in Lansing. Come enjoy irresistible, award-winning, handcrafted donuts and locally roasted coffee at Groovy Donuts. Surprise your family or coworkers with special holiday designs and flavors, or put the perfect finishing touch on an event with a custom order. Birthdays, weddings, gender reveals, our friends at Groovy Donuts are your answer. Experience the Groovy Donuts difference for yourself on Lake Lansing Road in East Lansing or in Williamston. Get more information or place an order at groovydonuts.com. Firekeeper's online casino and sportsbook is the site to play. From your phone, tablet, or laptop. Get in on all the football action with pre- and in-game wagering. There's showdowns every week in football that you can't miss. Plus, the college and pro hoops are red hot, and the pucks are cool. Get your first casino deposit and sports wager matched up to $500 each. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 21 or older and located in Michigan. Gambling problem? Call the Michigan Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-270-7117.
Please like and subscribe to the Couch in the Rube YouTube channel. Also download podcast episodes wherever you get your podcasts. For sponsorship opportunities, email Jason at couchandtherube.com.
Couch in the Rube, our Wednesday show, presented by our friends at Front 43 Neighborhood Pub and Cask & Company Kitchen and Bar. That is near Frandor, just north of Frandor on East Saginaw, near the Lansing-East Lansing border. 2 incredible places, distinct vibes. One more pub style, the other more restaurant style, although a great bar there as well. Great place for a date night to watch the World Cup. If you want to sit through the Tigers, that's on you. But Front 43 and the Cask and Company is a great place to do it. Unbelievable menu, like modern American, Asian American. Like you're looking at great sushi bowls, great burgers, flatbreads, you name it. Go to caskandcompany.com to check out their menu or place a reservation. Great reservation system there. It is time now to chat with our friend Nolan, the intern, who has been listening, taking notes. By the way, that's not just Jason calling him that, and he's not that to us. But that was a nickname people who thought a lot of him gave him at one point in his
catching
life.
Steam, though. A lot of people say, like, oh, yeah, since Couch isn't there, you and the bitch should do a podcast while he's gone. It's like, it's not nice. Yeah.
All right. So, do we have his mic on, just to be sure?
I think so.
Okay.
He's got to talk.
Nope, it's not on.
You turn it on.
There it is. Sweet.
I think the tape is on the wrong stuff.
Is this the orange one? Oh, the orange one's on.
We're fine. I got them both on right now.
yeah,
You're good. We'll just go. I don't know what's going on. Anyway,
I just love how you're just ready to call me out on it. Then you're like,
I'm not going to blame myself.
I run it too.
All right. What have you taken from the show? Your thoughts on what you've heard so far?
So far, oh wait,
you're good.
You're good. Okay, see. So the first thing I want to talk about was Jalen Duren. All that. I think that Jalen Duren so far, for what I've been seeing, there's like no one really good offering him for what we have. We have the two teams that so far have been looking to get Jalen Duren are the Chicago Bulls and the Brooklyn Nets. And those are two teams that, quite frankly, have nothing to offer for what a guy like Jalen Duren has to offer. I don't want to give up Jalen Duren for a guy like Rob Dillingham.
But he's a restricted free agent, right? So they can just sign him.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah. But they could sign him, which is the problem because we can get rid of him for nothing. But at the same time, it's also, like I said, like James said, he's only 21 years old, 22 years old. I mean, he's been in the league for 3 seasons. Yeah, he had a great playoff last year, a not good playoff this year. But I think that's just I think it was just all just a mental thing. And we saw Cade, being, kind of his guy. Cade was always there to support him. The team was always there to support him. And when he was having a bad game, he never seemed like he was, I don't know how to say it. I mean, he didn't seem like he was down on himself because he knew he was playing bad and he knew I have to step up, and he would admit it. And it was just a bad playoff series. We still got to the second round for the first time since 2008. So I'm not even complaining. Like, obviously we wanted to see him go far, but
I have no problem with Jalen Duren being on the team. The question is how much you commit. I mean, that's what it comes down to, because the problem is
the max.
Well, but it's all about the piece of the pie you have to give up, right? And so the salary cap keeps going up, and some of this money, $40 million, is a lot less than you think as a percentage of the cap. But $40 million, that guy's still got to be your third guy on a championship team.
Yep.
So you can look at any team that's won a championship, who's their third best guy, and can Jalen Duren be that? I think that probably is more realistic than second best guy, and so he needs to be paid probably at that level. But you can't. If you're going to make anywhere near max money in today's CBA agreement, you gotta be a top 2 guy on a championship team. Otherwise, you shouldn't.
You know what gave me hope for Nolan's generation? Because I worry about his generation. I was talking to him before the show. I'll turn your mic off. Is that before the show he was talking about his friend's mom and dad, and he calls them Mr. and Mrs. still. And I thought that was impressive, right? Do you remember? Because I don't remember calling, like, Peter Holcomb was like my buddy's dad. And we call him Pete, and he would get so incensed. He hated it when we called him Pete because we were 17-year-old little shitheads. But I thought it was nice, hearing Nolan going, like, he still calls his friends' parents Mr. and Mrs. Like, don't you call them by their first names now? Like, I don't know. Like, it's good to have that respect factor. But I don't know if these young people have respect anymore.
But he's still closer to kid than adult, in one sense. Like your brain isn't fully formed until you're like 25, 26 years old, right? So
it's a good excuse to have. Like, oh, sorry about that. I didn't mean to call you guys.
Anytime you fuck up in life, use that right now.
For the next, I can use that for the next 4 years.
Or mental health. You can use mental health too.
My brain is.
I'm super stressed recently. My brain isn't working.
Yeah, my brain is not fully formed.
It's just not working. Yeah, sorry. I got 4 more years of this.
It's like Brendan Sorsby. It's like, oh my God, I have mental illness. I got caught gambling on my fucking team. I'm mentally ill. I'm so sorry.
He's the same age as me, and he's bet $90,000 in the past 4 years. I won't see that.
I think that's
money.
not true either. I think it's more than that.
Well, 90,000 that we know of.
Right.
Yeah. That's just I haven't seen that type of money, not even a fraction of that in my lifetime, which is maybe like.
That's good because you can't bet it.
Yeah, exactly.
You never see it. You can't bet that.
If I bet, which I do like the casinos. I do the casinos. I do like $5.
Firekeepers, right? Yeah.
Yeah, firekeepers. Yeah, of course. Mm-hmm. But I do like $10 blackjack hands here and there. Like that's my. I don't do like. I'm not sitting at the VIP $250 tables. I can't afford that.
It's a good way to go.
Yeah, like $10.
Smart. Unless you those $10 bets, you start rolling those up. Then maybe you start going a little higher.
Well,
I mean, there's a whole.
There's the thing for it.
I'll get Michigan fan Jordan to connect with you. He'll get you into the mindset.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Dude, if you want a guy that plays that, I mean,
all of a sudden you'll be living in the alley outside here.
God, I'm living in some dorm next
or
year.
a fucking mansion that he lives in.
Yeah,
I don't know. You know, he's got it's in between.
You know what they say? You're one bet away from greatness. So he's got to keep.
That's
playing.
what I say.
He's got to keep playing. He's got to play the cards right.
I do.
I bet golf, dude. I always say
cards.
that.
I remember being like in my late 20s and having a bad run. I was like, I think I got to give up gambling, and my buddy was like, No, you just need to win.
Right.
Good point. All
Dude,
right,
you just got to roll one up.
You're one roll away from financial freedom.
Yeah,
that's all it is, man. Just one roll.
But Couch, what do you think of Sorsby going to the supplemental? Like, what is the supplemental draft? I mean, the Lions have a shot here. I mean, what do we do? What is this? What are we doing?
It sounds like he'll be a late second, early third in the supplemental draft. And yeah, I mean,
shouldn't he be the number one pick or something? I mean, come on, what are we talking about?
Not really the way it works.
These teams need a quarterback.
Is he that good?
I don't know. That's the big question. Is Texas Tech was doing all these things for a guy that you just don't know? I'm willing to, like I said, sell my soul, do all these things. If you bring me 2,000 Michael Vick, and you show me that guy, I'll do whatever you need.
And he has a potentially fairly serious vice for being an NFL quarterback.
What are you talking about? You mean the draft game? I mean, the commercials you see every freaking. I mean, that's the hypocritical thing that is just so ridiculous with this.
Nobody controls a game quite like a quarterback. You know, like I don't know. I don't know that I don't know.
That's why you might want to go back and look at some of that stuff from Cincinnati and
see what he did. All right, what else? What else did you learn today?
Well, Sorsby was he took the Texas Tech to the top 4 team in the playoffs. He was a pretty solid quarterback. He wasn't that good, but he was
Sorsby. And I thought this was his
first year, right?
Yeah, but he was still on the team. I mean, no. He was there for. Is it the second year?
No, hold on.
No way.
Intern Nolan.
He played at Indiana and Cincinnati. Wait, hold on.
Let's give intern Nolan some Hoff.
Yeah,
look it up.
No, he was at Cincinnati last year. I was like, did I miss something? Yeah,
I thought he was there for.
No. He was.
Just goes to show you, just because the kid's young doesn't mean he knows what he's
talking about. I don't know
about.
everything. Yeah, because I'm not following Texas Tech football like that. Well, it's like Gideon Gash should be.
This is the business.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you're right.
While you're interning.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't have a family yet. There's no point.
I got a lot to learn still.
Yeah.
But let's see what's going on in my notes here. Let's save J Batt.
What's going on in my notes here?
What's going on in my notes today? Let's save that for last. We'll talk about the World Cup. I mean,
we can just jump to bat if you want.
You want to just jump to bat? I can jump to bat.
We thought we had enough soccer.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. But seeing J Batt leave is probably the worst thing that probably could have happened to us. After obviously we lost our president no more than 3 weeks ago, and now we'd lose our athletic director, who will his replacement will now be the 4th AD since 2021, whether it be like an interim head D or full time. It's just sad that we're losing these guys. So it's just like you should be having an AD for at least 10 plus years at a time. That's how kind of I think about it, because our old AD, Mark Hollis, he was there for 10 years, 2008 to 2018, and luckily he said he wants to come back, which I think is a great thing for us, because like I said earlier, like I was talking to Jason earlier, like this would be a good thing for Tom Izzo. He would love him. He was a winner.
Yeah, I mean, so here's the challenge. And look, I like Mark Hollis personally a lot. We've have a good relationship with him. I think he was incredible at the time he was at Michigan State.
Yeah,
he obviously put them on the front foot in men's basketball and football at a time. He built those brands. He helped build them beyond even Izzo and D'Antonio. And he put them in lots of big events. He helped make Michigan State a bigger deal in those two sports. Now, some other non-revs, maybe eye off the ball a little bit. And that was something that Alan Haller thought was important when he took over, right? So that was the sort of the counter to that. But right now, what people need is football to be healthy. And he certainly knows the lay of the land. It's a different world than when he left. He left under, he kind of left a little bit under the cover of darkness a little bit. Not really.
Corley, King, and Vance, you mean?
Well, no, it was about all the ESPN stuff that was going on. It was, there was a lot of stuff going on. He just kind of bolted and left Izzo to be the spokesperson for everything. And so that stuff that I don't know that even Izzo or anybody, I mean, if he comes back, there are old scars that almost still have to be addressed, a little bit. Or at least he's going to have a good line about how he handled things then and what he did. And I don't know that Michigan State wants to turn that page back there at all. Now, do I think he might be in some ways ideal on an interim basis? Maybe. I also think, John Palumbo is a really bright guy, somebody they brought in who's already the CEO of Spartan Ventures. So does that, how does that work? Now, ideally, that's separate from MSU Athletics, so I don't know if that would make a lot of sense. Hollis would be interesting. I believe he was interested last time too.
He should be. I mean, what is he doing now? He's the tournament director of the Rocket Classic, which is going to go away. Which I would like to ask Mark Hollis about. Is there going to be a sponsor for next year's tournament? Is there a next year's tournament for the class? Like, there's not going to be called the Rocket Classic anymore. But that's what he's been in charge of these past couple of years, and he's lost Rocket Mortgage as a sponsor. Yeah, does that mean anything at all for bringing a guy in like that as an athletic director?
I don't think that Michigan's
at all. It doesn't matter.
No,
I mean that's a big sponsorship to lose. You were losing a tournament in Detroit like that.
Well, I'm not sure if that had anything to do with him or just Rocket.
He's the tournament director.
Yeah, but he works for Rocket Mortgage.
Oh, all right. Well,
so I think those two things work. I don't think that was. I think look, Mark Hollis knows the lay of the land at Michigan State. He is well respected with alums and donors. He was innovative before his time in a different time. And if you were going to be the where it would make sense with Mark Hollis to some degree, if you can find a way past what some people would be concerned about the era and how he left, would be to me on the interim basis where you're not going to have a president for 9 months or a year. And so you bring somebody like Mark Hollis in for a couple of years, and maybe it continues if it's going well, but you at least have somebody who's done it, who can stabilize things, knows the lay of the land, may not have the ego to still be trying to build his career. He's in his late 60s now, that sort of thing.
Well, he's 63.
Is that all he is?
Mm-hmm.
No, he's not. Is he?
I mean, you can look it up. Here's some lats.
Shake a tail feather. Oh no!
Nolan, this is lats, by the way.
Coming, can't
is this
stop
lats?
now, gotta continue my running.
He prefers to be called Chad.
We're gonna party till the lights come on, and if my song
Oh, he's
stops,
63. I'm sorry, Mark. Jesus, we'll fix that in post.
What's my favorite thing of all time, Nolan, is when I'm looking right at it, he's like, no, it's not. It's unbelievable. And then he'll look it up.
Oh yeah,
like I'm just messing with
you. Got to play it off like, I knew that, but I wanted to play with you. You got to play it off.
Can I tell you why that I thought he was older than he was?
Sure.
Not because he looks older.
He looks like an old man.
Nope. Didn't say that. It's because when he left initially, part of the reason he left is I think his brothers, a couple. I shouldn't say people. People in his family died around. Men in his family died around in the early 60s, and it was something that was his health was something that was a concern, and like he was approaching that age. So I thought he was
Dude, I'm 47. I think about death at least 4 times a day.
I had a meeting with a cardiologist this morning on 3 hours sleep after drinking for 3 days. It was not the best.
It's like when there's severe weather. I look at T. I'm like, is there a possibility our life could end where we're just in a tornado flying towards the sky? Is that possible? That's possible, right? That was a big take, sorry. But like, yeah. So anything's possible. But yes, I guess 63. That's why. Good excuse for why you thought he was older, because he had relatives that died.
No, because I thought he was leaving because he was pushing 60 at that point. I didn't realize he was only in his mid-50s. I effed that up. I apologize, Mark.
It's not.
Hopefully he doesn't hear this.
Yeah, I'm looking at the picture of him. He looks like he does look a little older. I'm not.
Yeah, dude, because you're 20. Everybody looks old as fuck.
He looks.
This kid over here.
Just because he's bald.
If you had to guess how old Jason was and you did not know his age, what would you say?
What are you doing over there?
I'm posing because someone is calling me out, so I'm trying to look younger.
The flipped up hair. I'm gonna give you I'd honestly say early 40s. I'd say early 40s.
I guess I'll take
early
that.
40s.
How about me?
You can lie, right? I'm just going to tell you about the business a little bit. You might want to start lying to people.
Are we posing?
Small little lies.
Yeah, how about me?
I'd say mid 50s.
Until you heard him talk, then he might be 63.
No, sorry.
The way he lives.
Late 40s. No, I think late 40s.
Yeah, we got to turn. We got to teach Nolan how to lie a little bit.
It's the worst.
See, when I lie, you'll know I'm lying because 2 things will happen. I will get really red. I get really red really easily, and then I'll either start stuttering or looking away. I start looking away.
That's what Couch does too. It's the same thing. I'm used to it. I
kind of think after my mom too, because she always just plays I'm joking. She plays stuff as a joke. I'm gonna start doing that. Start saying I'm joking.
Nolan, nice work today, man.
I appreciate it.
We will we'll have Nolan back on Monday for more thoughts from Nolan. More takes.
Before we get Nolan out of here, can we talk about the Tigers a little bit? Because I have to say, are we supposed to take them seriously? I mean, does H.A. Hinch, Kerry Carpenter again last night? And I know that I've said it before. And the Drew Lane podcast, I know Drew says it. He's a former VOTEC. He played college baseball. He knows ball. So he says it too, and I agree with him. But Kerry Carpenter getting pinch hit for again for Jahmai Jones. I'm being serious here. Would you just rather Kerry Carpenter try it right-handed before Jahmai Jones?
Yeah, I would.
Like, Kerry, seriously, try. I know that you don't hit righty ever, but it's you have a better chance than Jahmai.
I would rather he bunts than Jahmai Jones at this point.
Step into the plate. Jahmai Jones, you got to put your elbow out there and hope it gets hit. I mean, it's just watching these guys, and my point of all of this is just I'm getting fed up with A.J. Hinch. I don't know why. I feel like it's sacrilegious if you go, I think AJ should be on the hot seat. Like, oh, what? He's analytical. He does all these analytic things, and how dare you, Yeah, I think it might be time to talk about, have we had enough of AJ Hinch? When analytics tells you how bad you're doing, does that not, I mean, if you want to do the analytic thing and do numbers and crunch numbers and all that, I don't know.
I used to be very pro AJ Hinch and wanted him to be around for whatever this group of Tigers could ever become. It's frustrating though because
I was showing Nolan this stat before the show. It's by Tigers Data at Tigers Data on Twitter. AJ Hinch decision success rate 47.3%. That's 25th in Major League Baseball. Yeah. That includes pinch hit opportunities to reach base or advance a base runner and mid-inning pitching changes. Under 50%. All these guys he's pinch hit. I just can't believe that you take out a guy like Carps. Like, I don't care if it's lefty on lefty or whatever. I don't care who's on the mound. Give me Kerry Carpenter instead of a lot of these guys.
I would be, who I would be interested to watch manage the team?
Fuck, anyone. Sparky Anderson. Let's dig his ass up.
Chris Fetter.
No, fuck. Get out of here. No thanks.
Do you know what he'd be as a manager?
I don't know. I just don't. No.
You're done? Okay.
Yeah, I just don't. The walk to the mounds annoy me. Like sometimes, I just don't want to have to sit there and I'm just sick of dealing with the injuries and the way that if you question anything, you get looked at like you're an asshole. That's the way it feels with AJ sometimes. Like, how dare you question me? Well, what have you done outside of cheating with the Astros, though? Right? I'm not saying he's a terrible manager. I just don't want him. I don't want him managing the Detroit Tigers anymore. I think I've had enough of it. It seems like this. Like, I'm sitting there and I'm tuning in last night. I'm like, this team isn't fucking serious.
Well, that's why I put money on them not to get to 76.
I don't want to hear that either. I think that's equally as stupid as betting against your favorite team. It makes no sense to me. But
at this point,
why isn't there more? I mean, I think we need to start talking about it more often. Like AJ's on the hot seat for me. Breaking news.
Well, it's good. Luckily, you're making the decision.
Well, you know what? What do I have to? What do I have to get? 1 million signatures to get AJ out of here?
This story just posted by the Detroit News, by the way. Sarah Atwood. Police were dispatched to the homes of Michigan State University trustees who received threats following their phone numbers and home addresses being posted on social media Tuesday nights.
Yeah, I saw that post. It was like their full address, their relatives, and their phone numbers. It was crazy. I like the post. I probably shouldn't have liked that, but
well, at least you didn't. Did you call any of the board of trustees?
No.
Did you think about it?
Well, I saw one living in Ann Arbor. I thought she was a spy. So we might have some spies. We might actually have some spies.
So you had no thoughts cross your mind of
I was like, that's kind of crazy. Like, you're posting, like you're doxing the board of trustees.
You and your boys though. Look, if you guys had the numbers,
let's go prank call them, some pizza place. Yeah, you suck.
People should be angry, but
you stink.
Well, it's not a really good prank call. You might have to work on that a little.
When we talk about fandom being mental illness, this is where it becomes like, look, I'm all about.
But they did the same thing with Dan Campbell after the 49er loss, and he had to end up moving. Yeah, people
don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that, people. Like it's even if people should resign, even if these people are assholes, they don't deserve that because some crazy will do something stupid. You just that's not the Don't follow. Even if you have an address and phone number, please don't post it. And if you do, maybe don't
record the phone call.
Maybe don't act
send
on
it in.
Yeah, we'll play it. It's not great.
As long as it's funny. As long as you don't call up like Nolan and go, "You suck," and then hang up.
Well, I wouldn't have said that.
I need to brainstorm some ideas for prank calls.
I had to go to ChatGPT. Give me some good prank call ideas.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Or write them. Go through my mind and say, "Oh, I mean, what am I thinking of here?"
Like I do have sympathy for MSU fans and alums, but also, you took some classes there. You had some formative years there. It doesn't mean it's
how many of those that were harassing
get a grip
when they saw that number were alumni. We're an alumnus of Michigan State, right?
That's a good question. I don't know. That's a good question.
Anyway.
All right. Let's before we go, as we do before every major tournament, and Norm does every week, by the way, we give our golf bets. And, Jason, I'm going to lean heavily on you this week. I got a little bit that I like on the U.S. Open. But I'll be honest, I did not know until 2 days ago that this was a major golf event week.
At Shinnecock?
Or PGA. What did I say?
It's the U.S. Open.
U.S. Open, yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Your picks are going to hit because that's how fucking golf works.
Yeah. It's totally.
Sometimes I go, why am I doing this to myself? But by the way, Zach Johnson last week in the senior PGA Tour, I gave it out here. I said hammer it. Shout out to my boy John. My John gave me a tip. My guy John gave me a tip. Zach Johnson takes it down in Iowa last week. Thank God. Saved it. Saved the Canadian Open because we had some chances there, but we didn't go pull through here. But let's get to the U.S. Open at Shinnecock, Graham, where you're going to need tee to green, bogey avoidance, and difficult scoring conditions. Those stats come in handy. That's why a lot of names, if you don't follow golf, you might not be familiar. Well, so we're going to do the top. What's that?
Oh, no, go ahead. Sorry.
Top 30. We're going to do top 30. We have 2 players in this top 30 category. Alex Fitzpatrick, brother of Matt Fitzpatrick. Been playing really good golf. You need guys that are going to hit it straight because if you get into that fescue, you're fucked. So Alex Fitzpatrick is my first golfer in the top 30, and Ryan Fox plus 751 for top 30.
I actually like the brother of Alex Fitzpatrick. Matt Fitzpatrick is an outside.
Well, no shit, yeah.
But you can get him at 20-1, 30-1 to win it in different places.
Not excited about that.
Not excited?
Not excited about it.
I don't hate.
I have him in DFS, but I'm not as excited about him outright.
I don't hate the Scheffler play this week. Depending on where you get the number. Shop around is what I would tell you. If you get it at the Firekeepers Icon,
it's either plus 350, 450, right?
No,
what are you getting?
550, and I'm seeing 500, 650. If you can get above plus 500, I think it's not a horrible play.
Because that would, he would win the Grand Slam. Like I don't bet Scotty just because I just never get there, and it doesn't. I don't know.
Look, if you're getting under plus 400, the value just isn't there, and the odds are you can get him in play during the weekend at better than that, unless he gets off to a great start.
I mean, if he was yelling at Ted Scott at the Memorial that we were at,
I
mean, holy shit, this is going to be a hell of a test. All right, let's go to top 20, and where I have Russell Henley, who's an absolute just elite ball striker. I love Russ. Shane Lowry is my second one in the top 20, and that pays, boys, plus 600.
That's I got nothing else.
That's it? So your only bets, huh?
Yeah. So far, that's it. Yeah. I mean, I'll probably bet everything you do. I often do that in the majors.
Hey, you might as well. Well, let's get to the outrights then, because I have a bunch. I think I've bet on the most golf. Like, you have to sprinkle around. And the Zach Johnson win, you take a little money out. That's the best feeling when you're betting golf, is you take some money out that you won and then you put some back in with the hopes of cashing. So let's do it. Outright, I got Ryan Fox, who I mentioned in the top 30 with Alex Fitzpatrick. Ryan Fox. It's a long shot. Plus 210. Or fucking Christ. 210 to 1, excuse me. Here. Let's play some music. Next up, Gary Woodland, my boy. 115 to 1. Gary Woodland hits it straight. He's a baller. He's a pure ball striker. Kurt Kitayama, 78 to 1. Bobby McIntyre, I got 62 to 1. And Chris Gotterup. This is my strong pick. This is the pick I like. Chris Gotterup has all the shots. And he's 44 to 1.
Oh, man.
I did bet him for the PGA Championship, but I think this is a course, as long as he doesn't get into a lot of trouble. I mean, you can say that for any of these guys. It's pretty much like you sprinkle and pray and hope some of your guys can make the cut and make the weekend. Those are my outright picks, and of course, we got to do first-round leaders. I've been sprinkling on these, especially during the majors. I don't recommend doing first-round leaders every tournament, but if you're a sicko like me, let's go. Harris English, first-round leader, 66 to 1 odds. These are guys that are going off in the morning where the wind should not be as bad, by the way. All 3 of these guys. Brian Harmon, 96 to 1. And finally, Daniel Berger, 90 to 1. Even though he burnt me a couple weeks ago at the Memorial, thought he'd get a top 30 there. But those are my golf picks for the U.S. Open. I got to say, it's really one of the more exciting tournaments at Shinnecock. Hasn't been there since 2018. You have to be an absolute fucking gangster to win this tournament at Shinnecock. Retief Goosen, Brooks Koepka, Raymond Floyd, Corey Pavin. Not really a gangster. I mean, he's technically a gangster, I guess. But Those are the guys.
I'll tell you this, in terms of sports going on around here, it's one of the best stretches. But you got the constant in the background. It's the World Cup. 2 to 4 matches every day. Good stuff.
Soccer is boring.
Don't ruin soccer. Don't bring soccer into this shit.
You got the U.S. Open this weekend. Then you go into next weekend. If you're around these parts, it's the Moneyball Pro-Am, right? The beginning of the Moneyball Pro-Am, those first 2 games where you get to see the freshmen, you get to see a lot of things. And then the following week, Wimbledon starts. So you got Wimbledon and the...
and then only 43 more Sundays till the NFL's back. Or whatever that countdown they give me where I look at it and go, wait a minute. Oh, that's depressing. Anyway.
Good show, man.
Yeah, man.
We appreciate all of you listening. We appreciate intern Nolan. We appreciate Front 43 and Cask and Company, an incredible place for just about any occasion. And when people say, where should I take somebody for lunch, where should I take somebody on a date, whatever it might be, Front 43 Cask and Company, a reservation at caskandcompany.com. Great place to watch the World Cup as well, with World Cup specials during every single game. We will be back on Friday with some Twitter questions.
Can't wait.
And we'll get into everything you're wondering and thinking and all that good stuff. And, good show, man.
Yeah, man. Good show.
Couch in the Roof.